The following has been paid for by the Penton's World Order. Well, that sucked. Pens lose 1-0 to the Boston Bruins in the Garden on a Sunday afternoon after such a good start to the week. Let's talk about it for a brief moment. This is the Let's Go Pens fan react. We do a reaction to each and every Pittsburgh Penguins game or within 24 hours of the game, of the end of each game, sometimes right after it. But before we start, YouTube tells me that 85% of you that watch these videos are not subscribers. Let's change that. I hope to get to 75 subscribers before the Olympics in a few weeks. And unlike the arena, make sure we get to that goal. Liking or just viewing the video costs you nothing, so does subscribing. Got it? Clear as mud? Good. Let's keep going. So the Pens lose 1-0 to the Boston Bruins in a game that is definitely the toughest of the three. If you were to tell me at the beginning of the week that if I had $20 to place on DraftKings, which does not sponsor this at all, $20 on which game the Pens are going to lose, and I got 100 for winning it, what would it be? This would have been the game, without a doubt. Boston, travel, not necessarily a late start, but again, it's Boston after a 3:30 game. You knew this was going to happen. And there was only one goal in this game. Victor Arvidsson collects a rebound in front of Stuart Skinner after a long shot from Yuki Haru, and he just shuffles it past Skinner, who played a darn good game, who went 18 of 19. Arvidsson got his 9th. Yuki Haru got his 9th. And Casey Mittenstadt, he's still in the league, with his 10th assist. But the big storyline of this was that the Pens took 6 penalties in this game, and the Boston power play was left off the board. But the thing is, Boston was out there without their leading scorer. David Pastrnak? No. Actually, Morgan Geekie. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised. I'm surprised too. Let me just double check something on here. Yeah, they were. Boston was out without their leading scorer, Morgan Geekie, due to family reasons. So hard to believe David Pasternak's not leading with Boston. Maybe that's the reason. But Boston's a team that's been struggling this year. They haven't been the best. They're not even. They're okay. They're on the outside looking in terms of playoffs. I mean, they're on the wild card bubble right now. But then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll throw the Florida Panthers in there. Six teams are battling for 2 spots in the wild card. So, yeah. Not to mention the Devils are just hanging around. And so are the Rangers. So are the Senators. And so are the Blue Jackets. And that's the entire Eastern Conference. So this was a game. This was a scheduled loss. As I tell people, that's what this was. So I'm not angry and I'm not going to get upset. But what I'm going to get concerned about is that we know the Pens have been very streaky this year. Really good October, really good 15 games, undercut by a 8-game losing streak and losing like 8 out of 12. And then holiday break, right back at it. 5-game winning streak. And now we're staring down a 2-game losing streak with a 3-game homestand coming up against Tampa, Philadelphia on Thursday, and then Columbus on Saturday night. And then that's going to kick off the next 6, I think probably 6 out of 7, 6 out of their last 9 games before the Olympic break on the road. So, this is not the time you want to go lose on a losing streak. I mean, Tampa has gotten better. Philly is still Philly, and it's freaking Columbus. And this team's staring down a Northeast roadie, Kraken, Calgary, the Fighting McDavids, and then the Canucks. But we'll deal with that road trip when it comes. I'm not going to ask them to go on another massive winning streak, but the Pens do need to win these weeks that are coming up, or at least go 500 in them. Because you have 3 games coming up. You want 4 out of 6. That wins the week. 3 out of 6 kind of does. 4 to 6 points out of these 3 before you head out west. And some of those have weird start times. So I'm not too upset about this Bruins loss. I'd be more upset about Calgary because Calgary sucks as much as Vancouver does. And you're going to lay a dud against them. But it's kind of hard to win a game when you're in the penalty box for six penalties. And Gino ain't always going to bail you out. Crosby's going to go cold sometimes. He does. He's mortal. Erik Karlsson has only 4 goals. Sometimes these guys on the back end need to pick up in a game like this. And if Boston would have nicked a point, I would have been fine with that. But there's just not a lot of meat on the bone for this game. It's like one of the small wings you get in like an 8-pack of Buffalo wings. And there's like a little small wing with not a lot of meat on them. That's this game. But I'm not going to worry right now. But win this week coming up. Win this homestand. And set yourself up for the next week. This team will have 3 days off once it comes back from Vancouver. But this is the start of 7 games in 2 weeks. 8 games in 2 weeks, technically. Get after it. Fun part of the season's over. Time to get to work. And we'll be there every step of the way. Let's go Pens. See you Tuesday.